1620 The Zone. This is the After Hours Lounge. We are brought to you by Bellevue University. Head over to bellevue.edu, register for classes. You could become a Bruin this fall. We've got a great show lined up for you tonight. A couple of groups of Tigers are in studio with us tonight. Katie McClan, the head softball coach from Fremont, will join us in studio with a few of her players at 6:30. Lee Jennings, the head football coach for the Fremont Tigers, will be here with us with his players at 7:30. We're going to take a look around a lot of stuff going on in the sporting world. We're going to do a ton of coverage on what happened at Big Ten Media Days today. SI put out a group of guys who they believe will be first or second all NFL level players. John, Dan, and I will tell you who will, won't, and should be on that list. Alabama is going to name their field inside Bryant-Denny Stadium after Nick Saban. Is it enough? We'll debate in the next segment. And at 7 o'clock, we'll buy or sell on the topics around the NFL trade rumors and guys getting paid, guys not getting paid. And we haven't talked about Team USA versus South Sudan yet, and I'm interested to get Dan Campanen's thoughts on that. Caleb Polking is with us tonight as well. You could be with us at 402-951-1620. Don't forget to follow the show at After Hours 1620 on Twitter as well. We heard from a lot of people at Big Ten Media Days, but I want to start with the head of the snake, Tony Petitti, talked today and talked about Indianapolis and its relativeness to the Big Ten. Obviously, that's where Big Ten Media Days are. It's at Lucas Oil Stadium. And he talked about the fact that the Big Ten championship game for football will continue to be at Lucas Oil Stadium until 2028 for now. Now, that was an interesting quote because obviously Indianapolis pretty centralized between the end of the western part of the Big Ten in Nebraska and the eastern part in Rutgers, kind of very centrally located. Now, that West Coast 4 that's joined changes things up a little bit.
Now Lincoln, Nebraska is the center.
It really is, which is really interesting. But I think we've hit a time period in which we need to start talking about the Big Ten conference championship game traveling and not necessarily being.
It's going to be in Las Vegas
at the same location. I think that's going to be one, but I think they're going to I think they have to. I think they have to entertain multiple options. They really like their relationship with the city of Indianapolis, and Indianapolis has been really good to the Big Ten. And it doesn't seem like they really want to take that away permanently. But I think moving it for whether it be a 3 or 4 different location contingency between Indianapolis, the Rose Bowl, which I think would be really cool, and still tie back that Pac-12, that Pac-12 Big Ten tie in that game, and as well as Las Vegas, just because, listen, Vegas is making a push for everything right now, and it's kind of hard to turn them down. I think that'd be a really good group of 3 because you get the Eastern/Central location in Indianapolis. You get the West Coast location that has a ton of lineage with it, and obviously a lot of people still care about the Rose Bowl in those 2 conferences and these 18 locations. And then you get Vegas, which is kind of this new, okay, we're different. It's 18 teams now, and it's at a different location. It's different than it used to be kind of vibe, while still sticking with this nostalgia.
Here's the one thing that I think nobody is thinking about just yet, and it occurred to me today. The Bears have said they want to build a dome.
That's a good point.
The Big Ten offices are in Chicago, Illinois, which is closer to the geographic center of what the new Big Ten would be. It's not
than Indianapolis. Exactly. Yes, I agree.
It'd be closer than Indianapolis, though. If the Bears build that dome and it's like at all,
I believe it got unanimously voted yes.
Yeah, so that looks like it's going to happen. I would bet you anything that there are a lot of future Big Ten championship games played in that dome in Chicago. I would bet anything.
Yeah, and listen, I mean, I think if you're Minneapolis, you probably have a little bit of a say so too. I mean, the U.S. Bank Stadium up there is absolutely gorgeous and is a great location. When we look at it just feels like you have to give something to that West Coast 4, though. I don't think you could say, listen, it's Chicago, it's Indianapolis, it's Minneapolis, it's wherever. It's centrally located, and this is going to be it. You have to, and listen, I don't care if the Big Ten matchup, the Big Ten championship is Indiana versus Rutgers. Like, still giving the West Coast something is going to, or at least an opportunity. Caleb, will you grab the phone there and pick up the line? 402-951-1620. We'd love your thoughts on the Big Ten championship and where you would think it should be. But it just feels like saying, I think this is true for all conferences, whether it be the Big Ten, the SEC, the ACC, or whoever, that having just a centralized having a centralized conference championship game in one location that doesn't move with how coast to coast these conferences are now seems like a thing of the past, and it needs to go away, in my opinion. I don't think you can necessarily say, okay, we're going to cater to one part of our audience just because it's centrally located, just because you do have West Coast teams in the ACC. You do have West Coast teams in the Big Ten. You do have the state of Florida participating in the Big 12 now. You have, in my opinion, no matter what the conference game is, whether it be Big 12 in Jerry's world, the Big 10 at Lucas Oil Stadium, or wherever, it needs to move, in my opinion, because I think it's going to benefit the conference as a whole.
Yeah, I just feel like, I don't know, there's going to be money involved.
Okay.
That's the thing. It's this era of college football is about where the dollars and cents line up.
Yep.
And I don't think anybody disputes that, right? So what is the location that is going to offer the biggest monetary gain for the conference? That's going to, like, if it's not in Los Angeles.
With that being said, doesn't it make more sense for it to move because you can get those cities to bid on it and keep it moving, and not only just get Indianapolis' money or get Chicago's money, you can get all three of them?
That may be the case, but that's another part of this that you have to consider is it's been in Indianapolis and everybody kind of knows what to expect when you get there. They know the lay of the land. The facility is the same every time.
And Indianapolis has turned into kind of a college town. I mean, there's obviously that talk when Rosenblatt got tore down about that being the destination for the College World Series. If Omaha wasn't willing to move it downtown, you have the swim trials that happen there. You have the College National Championship swim trials that happen there.
Indianapolis is a lot like Omaha. It's an event town that supports the big events. Like, that town shows up when there's something going on. But I think we have to look at the new dome that's going to be built in Chicago, and we have to think about the money. What is going to make money for the conference membership? And look, if it adds a few more pennies into the pockets of the membership, they're going to get on board.
I will say this, though. When we're talking about the time of year in which the Big Ten championship is going to happen, Indianapolis is a little more tolerable than Chicago is with the off the lake weather and things like that. It is a little bit more. It's going to be cold in both locations, which is why LA and Vegas automatically kind of get the nod because it's going to naturally just be warmer in those locations. But I think when we talk about,
let's play it in Phoenix.
Listen, it's also a dome. There'll be air conditioning, and it's perfect.
Why not Houston?
But when we talk about the future of the Big Ten championship, I don't see a world, especially because Tony Petitti brought up today too that, hey, listen, we're done talking about conference realignment for now. Like, this is obviously a discussion that's still going to continue to happen, and I don't think anybody thinks anybody's done at 18 teams. I think everybody's expecting sooner rather than later Florida State and Clemson to move somewhere. And then obviously the SEC will probably follow suit as well if they are end up being Big Ten schools or vice versa. But
if Florida State and Clemson move, North Carolina's moving.
I think North Carolina, Miami
means North Carolina State's going to move, which means Miami's going to move.
Which means Duke's out.
Which means Duke's on the move. Like,
Duke in the Big 10 would be really fun. Or the Big 12, excuse me, in the Big 12. Where we talk
basketball.
Yeah, I think they'd be competitive in football, and you get Kansas versus Duke.
But would Duke and North Carolina separate from each other?
Yeah, if you could still play each other maybe twice a year. I think basketball allows that. I mean, Creighton and Nebraska are in the same conference, and they're able to play each other as frequently as they want to.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how this all shakes out. Whether Florida State and Clemson can actually afford the buyout to get out of their grant of rights.
Should hire Robert Williams.
I'm sure he would take that case. He'll take that call.
Williams Law LLC tonight.
To Tony Petitti's comments, I don't think it's blowing smoke. I think they're set for now. And
I agree. I think he the way he said it with conviction. I think he meant it.
They're not going to go back to the networks and say, look, we're going to add 2 teams and we want more money.
Yeah.
Because they just signed that new deal, like just a year ago.
But it kind of feels like we're at this moment where it's just like every TV outlet is like, pick us. We'll give you more money. Do you want our check instead?
Yeah.
I find it hard to believe if you go back to NBC or Fox or CBS or all three of those as a contingent and say, hey, we need a little bit more money because we're adding Notre Dame and Florida State. Find it really hard to believe that, especially if NBC
I think
is
Notre Dame's a different conversation.
I agree, but I think if schools like that, because to me, Florida State and Clemson combined equal Notre Dame, in my opinion. I think they'd be willing to have that conversation. But I think at this point, anybody, and I literally mean anybody, including Notre Dame, I think anybody at this point, you got to have the conversation. Hey, listen, you're a little late to the party, and you're going to have to take a pay cut for now. We can restructure this deal where we end up giving you equal share down the road, but there's just no way we can do it right now. And the majority of people, whether it be coming from the ACC or a lesser than power group of 6 conference, you're going to be getting a pay raise anyway, even with a cut from what the rest of the Big Ten is making.
Yeah. I don't know. Within the next, I'll say 4 years, I don't see it happening. I think
it happens in 2.
I think we're set for about 4 years until those media contracts start to age a little bit, and everybody's looking for the next round. Like once those discussions start ramping up, then I think you'll see some more teams add. But I think we're set with the current setup for at least in the Big 12 or the Big 10 and the SEC for at least the next 4.
Here's the main reason that I disagree, because I think once the playoff expands from 12 to 16, there's going to be a push to try to get more teams that can kind of get in and compete to get, because that's the benchmark now. It's no longer can you win your division, can you win your conference, it's can you get to the playoffs. And your conference is going to make more money the more teams you get in. So if you have the ability to add, especially more quality teams that can try to be your automatic qualifier, or maybe finish at the back half of the 16 and get in to help the conference out, there's going to be a push to add those teams.
And I would argue to Florida State and Clemson that in a 16-team playoff, they're much better staying in the ACC than they are moving to one of the other 2.
But from that sense, is it better to be one of 2 ACC schools and not get any of the pie, or would it be better to maybe not even make the playoff and get a cut of one of the 4 teams from the Big Ten that get in?
Depends on what your motivations are. Do you want to win, or do you want to make money?
Yeah, and listen, that's a conversation a lot of schools are going to have. Dan, you were chomping at the bit to weigh in on where the Big Ten championship game should move to.
Oh, so first off, it should never move to Chicago. That's terrible. Also, Chicago,
where the league office is.
That's perfectly fine. You can have a league office there. You shouldn't have a domed stadium or any sort of a championship there, because the Bears still suck, and that's where the Bears would have to play at as well. And they're not bringing a championship back, so why even bother giving the people of Chicago any sort of a championship? If you're playing the Big Ten championship in LA, I think the only way that if I was commissioner, would allow for that deal to be done is if we get to play it
in the Rose Bowl.
I was going to say SoFi.
Oh,
but I would accept Rose Bowl as a nice second.
Hot take: SoFi's a dump. I don't like it. I've been there twice. I've been severely underwhelmed by it.
But I was also going to say, I think it's perfectly fine the way that it is now. I like Indianapolis. I like Lucas Oil. And I like, to Jimmy's point that he made earlier, it is, and your point, I guess, too, you guys agreed on something. It was amazing.
Wild.
Never happens.
It is an event town.
Cats and dogs living together.
The people of Indiana and Indianapolis come out for events that are, at Lucas Oil and that are in the city. And they, they kind of go all out, and, that's their tourist economy, kind of like Omaha, as was mentioned previously. I like Indianapolis. It kind of feels true to the Big Ten. We are the conference of the Midwest.
No longer.
Sort of. And we
Eugene, Oregon, famously in the Midwest.
In the Midwest.
We're gonna punt on the Nick Saban stuff because if somebody needs less coverage, it's probably Nick Saban. I want to talk about a giant rubber duck and what it looks like in the Indianapolis River, and a whole lot more as the After Hours Lounge rolls on. If you missed the opening segment tonight, we talked a lot about what Tony Petitti. We talked a lot about where we think the Big Ten championship football game should be played at. If you missed it, check it out on our radio replay page on 1620thezone.com or wherever you find your podcast at. It was brought to you by our good friend Amber Best with Berkshire Hathaway Real Estate. If you want to help build your portfolio through real estate, work with Amber Best at amberbess.com tonight. She can help you build the portfolio, educate you on investing in real estate. She can help you move your house off the market, or maybe help you buy your forever home as well. Check out Amber Best with Berkshire Hathaway at amberbess.com tonight for more details. We'll be right back, giving the smoke. 1620 Zone.
Hey everybody, John Schreiner here for Jerry Ryan Clothing and Sportswear. We're talking Big Ten Media Days today, and you know what that means? The kickoff of college football is just around the corner. You going to that game, the opening day game, you going to that first one? What are you going to wear? If you don't know, get yourself over to Jerry Ryan. You're going to find all the gear that's going to make you look great on opening day of college football season. You can get the best polos in any color you want, whether it's white, Jimmy's favorite red, whatever it may be, from Dan's favorite, Peter Millar. Grab yourself a Johnny O. I love my Johnny O polo. Every time it comes out of the wash, it's the first thing I put on. You're going to love it too. It's going to be your favorite thing in your closet. I promise you that. Jerry Ryan's got it all. They're easy to find. 78th and Dodge. They're going to love you when you come in and you say After Hours sent you, because Jerry Ryan's been dressing Omaha for over 50 years.
We're on a warming trend this week, and we're warmer already for your Tuesday evening with high temperatures sitting in the upper 80s. We'll drop overnight tonight to the upper 60s, and throughout the day tomorrow, we will reach 90 degrees with mostly sunny skies. I'm meteorologist Luke Vickery, KETV Newswatch 7.
Jerry Ryan Clothing has been dressing Omaha for over 50 years. Located at 78th and Dodge, they've got you covered for your summer events. Let Johnny O, Mizzen and Maine, Roan, and Peter Millar take care of golf, office, or a night on the town looks. Whether it's a golf polo for the course or completely updating your business casual wardrobe, do it in style. Let Dan, John, Jake, or Deanna take care of your look for any event. As always, free alterations by Moner the Tailor. It's Jerry Ryan Clothing, 78th and Dodge.
Are you ready to elevate your taste buds? Look no further than Pepper Jacks, your go-to destination for bold flavors and endless choices. Dive into their mouth-watering rice bowls, crisp salads, hearty Phillies, savory burritos, and loaded nachos. What sets them apart? Complete customization. Choose your base, proteins, toppings, and sauces for a personalized culinary adventure. At Pepper Jacks, it's not just a meal, it's an experience. Unleash your cravings and savor the bold tastes at Pepper Jacks today. Life's too short for bland. Spice it up at Pepper Jacks.
It's always a good thing when there's no music playing and the producer looks at you like a deer in the headlights. Like, that's not what that's supposed to do. Hey, it's 6:21 on a Tuesday night here on 1620 The Zone, brought to you by Bellevue University. Head over to bellevue.edu, register for classes, become a Bruin, attend classes at Bellevue on campus or online this fall. It is time for the Who Wants to Smoke segment. It is Phil Knight and the Oregon Ducks.
Ooh.
Because in case you were wondering if Phil Knight really meant, hey, we have a blank check for NIL money, we could show you exactly how much money we have at disposal by putting a 60-foot tall rubber duck in the lake in Indianapolis to open up Big Ten Media Days. Welcome to the Big Ten, Eugene, Oregon. What a flex. This was incredible.
Yeah, it's classic Oregon, pulling shenanigans like this.
I love it. I'm here for it.
Yeah. Glad to have you, Oregon. At least somebody's fun around here.
Can we get the truck, the famous semi truck that went and got Grant Brix and just pull it up behind the duck and that's what they brought the duck in, is just the big Nebraska. Like, they need to take the infamous Big Ten commercial where everybody's logo pops up to show where they are on the map, but do this, have the duck deflate and it goes into the truck and it drives to Lincoln, and then I don't know, Paul Bunyan picks it up and walks to Wisconsin or whatever. I don't know.
When Nebraska was a Big 8 and Big 12 school, the way I looked at the Big 10 was always it was so stuffy, and everyone was so full of themselves and taking themselves too seriously. You know what I mean?
Oregon's never going to have that problem.
And now that we have you have Nebraska, who's from the Wild West of the Big 8, and you have all these Pac-12 schools with their West Coast haircuts coming in. It just feels like the old stuffies are starting to be outnumbered in this conference now, right? The fun kids are here. It's time to have a little bit of fun.
And the one thing that I took away from today, not the one thing, but the thing that it was almost a breath of fresh air, and it's something that has been around for a while and not been happening. But the fact that people, specifically Ryan Day and people that are at the top of the conference, are talking about national championships and not making it to a Rose Bowl, because for the longest time,
that's the only thing we could talk about.
Yeah, and even 5 or 6 years ago, people were still talking about it. I remember 2018. That was the discussion happening in Madison. Was, well, we got to get to the Rose Bowl. I'm like, are we still doing this?
Yeah.
Is it weird to say it feels like there's a real legitimacy to the Big Ten now?
Yes,
after
agreed.
the last couple of years where
they just won the national championship.
Yeah, finally Michigan gets put over the hump. Ohio State doesn't seem like it's just kind of the dopey darling anymore, where it's
Was that ever a thing?
Oh yes,
The dopey darling.
Yeah.
With
I always
Urban Meyer?
called them the dopey darling with Urban Meyer. Yes, with Ryan Day, of course.
It was
because it always seemed like they were going to make it just up to the finish line, and then someone was going to be like, haha, I'm going to club you in the knees.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And their name was
and then
Nick Saban in Alabama.
And then Cardell Jones happened.
I have some reporting from Stuart Mandel about the Rose Bowl.
Is this a...
no, we don't need
Okay.
the drop. We don't need to do the drop.
I think I'm off breaking news drop revelation.
No, you're not. You're still on it.
Not until next Monday.
No. Stuart Mandel says that the Rose Bowl has asked not
Oh, yeah, they still want to be on New Year's
to
Day,
be
right?
included in the semifinal rotation
Good
in the
for them.
CFP. They're just going to keep their game on January 1, and there'll be a quarterfinal.
Dig your heels in and tell other people to move. Good for you, Pasadena. I like that.
So
Classy move.
your Rose Bowl will not be a semifinal game.
Got to see that sunset.
Well, you know why that is, though, right?
The sunset over the San Gabriels. It hits different on January 1st.
Sure does. It
Yeah,
really
more-
does.
More importantly than anything, the parade of roses has to happen before the game.
Well, and here's the
If
other
we
thing.
don't get flowers down the streets of Pasadena, what are we doing?
Everybody is kowtowing to the almighty dollar. It is really nice that somebody is like, nope, this is tradition. This means more to us. It's a staple of the community. To Dan, your point, the parade of roses. It's really nice that somebody is saying, that's fine. Go have your playoff. We're going to still be college football.
Yeah. So that's the story there with the Rose Bowl and
Speaking
being stuffy.
Speaking of
The Sugar Bowl's like, we want to be included.
yeah,
I guess the
can we get two
national
games?
championship game, baby.
Speaking of Ohio State getting over the hump, obviously, I think we're going to look at Quinshon Judkins moving from Ole Miss to Ohio State in the same realm that we look at like Joe Burrow moving from Ohio State to LSU in that season. I really think that he's going to be a guy that the entire country falls in love with, because Ole Miss not really a blue blood or watched at the level that Ohio State is, not getting the attention that Ohio State is going to this season. And that's really what kept Ohio State behind the 8 ball last year. I mean, you talk about just 60 yards against Michigan, 58 against Penn State, 67 against Wisconsin. They need that running game to be better. And I think it's really interesting that we're here just a few months or few days away from the start of fall camp. Ohio State has still not named a starter. And I think that tells you everything you need to know about the Will Howard situation.
I've been telling you everything you need to know about the Will Howard situation since the spring.
I have famously told you that he is not going to be the starter game one.
I didn't understand it from the jump. I didn't think Will Howard was an upgrade over what they had before.
Yeah. I don't think he's an upgrade from Julian Sayin either.
Or
There's this guy that's about to get on campus tomorrow
who you're in love with,
named Aaron Nolan, and he is a dude.
I just like, I never understood the Will Howard thing. He was pretty good at Kansas State. Why Ohio State wanted him so badly, I just don't get it. Like, I don't understand.
If they lose to Michigan this year, does he get fired?
Yes.
Brian Day? No.
Yes.
Emphatically? Because you're not the only person I've heard say this.
I honestly think so, because it's one of those things where it matters more.
I think there's I think there's a contingency out there that feels that, like actually believes that. And some of those people are in Columbus. Ryan Day has never lost a Big Ten football game to a team that wasn't coached by Jim Harbaugh. Ever. He's 39-3 against the Big Ten. And there are people that think that he should be fired if they can't beat Michigan this year. Like, legitimately believe that.
He will not be fired.
I don't think so either, and I think it's preposterous to even have that conversation. But to Dan's point, and Dan, you're not alone in this conversation. There are people that actually believe if he can't beat Michigan this year, because of the changes that are going through with Toronto, even if they go 11-1, maybe even if they win the national, if they win the national championship, that obviously
if they won the national championship, Ryan Day would be like, "I'm dyeing my beard white tomorrow."
Yeah, but I think there's a lot of people out there like, oh, if he can't do it this year, it's time to find somebody else. He's never lost to anyone else in the conference, and people are having this conversation. It blows my mind. Your guy, my guy, our guy, Luke Fickell, obviously. Is not comfortable talking in front of the media. Does it feel like the Wisconsin job is too big for him? Because that's the read I get.
So mine's a little different. My read on Fickell, I just felt like it all seems a bit fake. It's starting to feel like an act.
I agree.
It just feels like there's this superficiality to his whole delivery and this thing that he does, where he stands up there and gives this big long spiel and does this performative coach speak. Like, it doesn't feel right. Like something's
he did
off.
It at Cincinnati too, by the way.
Yeah. And so what I started thinking when I was listening to him at the podium today was like, this guy will jump at the next big job that opens. Like, if someone at a job that's slightly higher than Wisconsin offers him a job, he's out the door. He's gone. He is a ladder climber.
Here's the thing. That has kind of been the MO of the Wisconsin head coaching job, though. Almost everybody else has also done that, because they, under Barry Alvarez, famously weren't paying assistants like they should be. But that has changed.
And also, under Barry Alvarez, you ran Barry Alvarez's offense, or there's the door.
The one guy, and I agree with you every time. And we kind of text this and have the same thought. Every time Luke Fickell talks, I grow more and more concerned with him as the head coach at Wisconsin.
Yeah.
You know who has the exact opposite effect for me? David Braun at Northwestern. I think they got it.
He sounds genuine.
I think they fell into an absolutely amazing situation. He sounds like he wants to be there. Obviously, he inherited everything that he inherited and still made it to a bowl game and in his first season. And their win total was 2.5 and clearly blew that out of the water. And he just seems like a football coach, and he wants to coach football. And I think Northwestern's the perfect spot for him.
Did you guys catch the subtle shade thrown by Brett Bielema? Did you catch this?
He's the one coach I didn't get a chance to listen to.
Okay, so he's going through his opening statement, and he's talking about all the commissioners he's worked with. He's like, yeah, when I was first-time head coach, I was around Jim Delaney, and he was great. And then he's like, and then I was in the SEC, and I was around Mike Slive, and he was great. And then Greg Sankey took over, and he was great. And then I was around Kevin Warren, and now I'm around Tony Petitti, and he's great.
That's amazing. Yeah,
that's a not exact his exact words. Those aren't exact quotes, but that's the gist of what he said.
Sure, yeah.
But it was just like, I heard that and I was like, "Ooh,
there's a lot.
There's some shade being thrown here."
And I wonder how much that is the fact that he's at Illinois and now Kevin Warren is in Chicago, but like left everybody else holding
Yeah.
the bag to sit for a little while there. But I think Tony Petitti's a good fit for the Big Ten.
He's really good in front of the mic. There's
Yeah.
no doubt about that.
Hey, we got to get to the Fremont softball team. They're going to join us in studio next. Their head coach, Katie McLean, will join us with her players. We come back. If you missed the Who Wants to Smoke segment, check it out at soundcloud.com/afterhours1620. It was brought to you by our friends at 402 Barbecue. Summer block parties are over, and that means that back-to-school events are going to be happening. And maybe you need a food truck to come out to your either elementary school, high school, junior high, whatever it may be. 402 Barbecue can bring the truck to your event. All you got to do is stop by 84th and Spring. Try one of your favorite sandwiches. Maybe test their sauces out. They have 6 handmade sauces to pair up to your favorite menu on the item, and they can bring all of them out on the food truck. Just mentioned to Kelly and team. You heard about them on After Hours. She's going to throw in a free soda and discuss the catering options with you tomorrow. They're open till 6 p.m. From 11 to 6. Stop by, talk to Kelly and the team. Tell her After Hours sent you. We'll be right back talking Tigers softball at 1620 The Zone. Hey, everybody, it's Jimmy Allen here for our friend Bob Williams with Williams Law. You hear Bob every week on this radio program. He was in here last night discussing the legal issues facing players in the NFL. He's not just a know-it-all when it comes to sports law. He also knows a little bit about DUI situations and civil cases as well. He can be your personal attorney by heading over to WilliamsLawLLC.com tonight. Find out if Bob is the right fit for you, your family, or whoever is going through the litigation with a no-obligation free legal consultation from Williams Law. Head over to WilliamsLawLLC.com tonight. Find out how you can work with Bob and his team in a very easy, no-obligation free legal consultation today.
Okay. You didn't send me my questions, just them.
6:36 on a Tuesday night here on 1620 The Zone, brought to you by Bellevue University. If you're looking for the ideal college experience this fall, head over to bellevue.edu. Register for classes. It is not too late to get involved in fall classes. You don't even have to go to school on Fridays. You can do most of your classes online. You can attend in person if you'd like, though. Head over to bellevue.edu and become a Bruin tonight. You can head out to Fremont and become a Tiger and play for the following coach. Katie McLean joins us in the studio. Coach, thanks for being here. We appreciate it. Caleb, can we turn her mic on? Thank you very much. Sorry about that, Coach. You've brought Jenna, your daughter Jenna, and Mia Cortez with you tonight. Thank you for being here. We appreciate it. You went 3-1 to finish the season a year ago. What can you take away from those 3 wins at the end of the season and make portable to this year?
Oh, for sure. I think first off is our battle against Gretna. Gretna was the #1 team in the state, and we took them to 7 innings.
Yeah.
And the game before, I'm pretty sure they run Rural Millard South.
Yes,
who we had lost to the day before, and then we came back to run Rural Millard South again. So it was just a great comeback towards the end of the season, and just to keep battling and fighting.
Was that shade thrown at Millard South there at all? No. Oh,
No, come on. What's the off-season process look like for you? How are you getting these girls ready for the grind that is a high school softball season?
Okay, so first of all, they're doing weights and conditioning with our weights and conditioning coach Nick Howell. He's great.
All over social media.
He's awesome.
Yeah, he's doing great.
And we have a brand new weight room. So we're lucky to have that brand new weight room. So they do that for about an hour and a half every day, Monday through Thursday. And then we have open fields twice a week. So girls that can make it come out, and there's always hitting opportunities, defensive opportunities. We also just hosted our high school team camp, not really a team, our high school girls getting together for a camp last week for 3 days, and just more opportunities for the coaches to see them and to work with them and to reinforce what we're expecting, how we want them to do things.
Yeah, I want to ask about that too, because you guys just had that at the beginning of July. What was the response from it, and was there an attempt to kind of help boost your numbers, or maybe get some girls that maybe haven't thought about it, or get them thinking about playing softball in the fall?
We're always looking for numbers. I mean, because we just like back in about 5 or 6 years ago, we had at least 40 some girls out, and maybe even had to cut some girls. And we're not at that point right now. So we're always looking for girls to come out. The camp necessarily is not to build numbers. It's just to get the girls working together and working with each other and just doing things the way we want to do it. So we really worked on some bunting and how we expect them to bunt, slapping, things like that, just how Fremont wants to do it.
What were some of the most important things for you, taking away how close you got a year ago, to improve on during this offseason?
Well, I mean, in my first year as head coach, we were third, you could say third in districts.
Sure.
Didn't make it to the championship. And then we were district runner-up. So what's the next step? Just the goal is to be a district host would be our first goal, is to be a #1 seed to host districts, and then just to go from there. I mean, the goal is always to get to state. But that's so you have to host your district, I think, is your best bet to do that.
You brought up the new weight room, and you're the third coach in as many nights that's brought up new facilities and the way it's benefited their school, et cetera. What about having new facilities helps as a coach? Because I mean, the weight room that was in there before was still pretty state of the art, but obviously you get more space, you get newer equipment. How does that help you guys specifically? Because you have a unique approach to this, because you guys have to co-op with Fremont Bergen as well. How does that help this program, getting a facility like you guys got with the weight room?
Well, it's just going to help us get bigger and stronger.
Sure.
I mean, just the physical aspect of it. And Nick Howell just does an awesome job. I mean, I told the softball girls, I said, if you're paying for someone to train you right now, you shouldn't be. You need to come to our training, because we have the best right here, and he's not charging you. Is
that a big deal for you to have that in your back pocket?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, and then we're going to start lifting during the season this year. Like, we haven't done it before because we're co-op and we don't start till 4 and we're off site, but we're going to make it work so that we can get in twice a week, and just to maintain what they've built all summer.
Awesome. Is that difficult to do because obviously you guys have a ton of other athletic programs out there, and everybody probably wants the new shiny toy and to be able to use the weight room too. Is it difficult to kind of schedule that type of stuff?
No, because we met kind of met, not like physically met, but discussed over email, like what would work for all the coaches. So they set up their times for them to be able to come in the summer and the times that it's available. And then after school, it's just Mr. Howell is in there right after school. And so you can get in, and whoever's not in a season is welcome to come, or he'll take teams now as well. And
Sure.
what's even better now is it's so much bigger. So you can fit all the off-season kids in there as well as the softball team in there at the same time.
All right, well, let's talk to your least favorite player on the team. Jenna McLean joins us in studio tonight as well. Softball, basketball, soccer, you kind of do it all. How much has it benefited your high school experience overall to be a multi-sport athlete?
It's just made it so much fun. I get to meet new people in every single sport, and every sport benefits me in a different way. So in basketball, I'm jumping, I'm catching the ball, but it also helps me with softball, being able to move side to side, and it also helps me in soccer, being able to dive and doing everything. Everything just correlates together, and it's really fun.
So when you're a 3-sport athlete, how do you manage the off-season training for all 3 of those different sports in a single summer?
It's hard. It's busy. It really does start with the weights. The weights really helps me. I get to work with my softball teammates, my basketball teammates, and my soccer teammates. And then I just go on Mondays, I go to basketball. On Tuesdays, I go to softball after weights. On Tuesdays, I also go to soccer. It just is a whole thing. It's a busy schedule, but I make it work.
We just talked about it with Coach. You guys obviously get to the A1 final last year, and you attended state as a spectator. What would it mean to make a run to state in your senior year?
Oh, it'd be everything. It would be my top goal. Always. It'd be so much fun. It would just be like, and I think it'd be even better my senior year just because it's my last season to end up going out on top pretty much.
You got a hotel picked out in Hastings?
I'm hoping.
All right. Walk-off bomb, 3 at the buzzer, stoppage time winner. Which one do you take?
Walk-off bomb.
Every time?
All day. It was
All right.
so much fun doing
She
that.
laid down the gauntlet.
You against Bellevue East, you got the opportunity to do that. Can you walk us through that, what that was like?
I was going up there. We were tied, so it really wasn't really up to me to win the game. But it was just went up there and I was like, just get a hit, just get on base, whatever you can. And I go up there and I guess my dad was in the outfield and someone was sitting with him. That guy goes, just hit a home run. And I did. And it just happened.
Did you know it when you hit it?
No, I wasn't even looking. I was sprinting to get a double, and I look up and everyone's cheering. I'm like, oh my gosh, I just hit a home run.
Dad's coaching from the outfield, but you get a really unique perspective to play for your mom. How cool is that?
It's really cool. A couple years ago, I got to play with my sister and my mom, and it was an experience that not a lot of people get to have, and I really enjoy it.
Well, congrats on. Go ahead.
One more.
Yeah.
Would you rather give mom tips to coach or coach tips to mom?
Mom tips to coach.
Jenna, thanks for being here tonight. Congrats on all the success. Oh, we didn't ask you. Do you know what your plans are for after high school?
I'm hoping to go to college to play one of my 3 sports, but I'm not for sure yet.
Okay. Well, good luck, and good luck this fall. Thanks for being here. We'll go over to Mia Cortez, who joins us in studio. We talked about this being a co-op situation, and obviously you attend Fremont Bergan. What's the biggest hurdle or unique part about playing for a co-op team where you have to play with girls from a different school?
Co-oping definitely gives me something to look forward to, and it's fun to be able to make different memories with different people from both Bergan and Fremont High.
So at this time of year, when we're winding down the summer, we're getting towards the start of the season, you're doing those late summer workouts. Where's your head at? Are you totally locked in on the upcoming season, or are you kind of in that, like, we got one last hurrah for summer here?
I'm definitely not fully locked in, but I still try to put in the work and train for the upcoming season.
I'm not gonna lie, you smiled really big when he asked if you were locked in. I was like, "This is a hard no." Is it when does that calendar flip for you? When are you kind of like, oh, is it as soon as school starts? Is it when the season starts? When is it when it's like, okay, we're at business point now?
I think once tryouts start going and everyone, like, it starts to become real, then I'm like, okay, then I need to really lock in and start training even more.
You play basketball for Fremont Bergan as well. Which between softball and basketball, which one do you enjoy the most?
I definitely enjoy softball more.
Because
I just like the environment more. Basketball, I don't know, nothing against basketball. I just like playing softball more.
Hopefully, Coach isn't listening to
this. We talked with Coach about that Gretna game. You're one game away, potentially from making it to state. Is there anything from that game that sticks with you? Because I remember all the way back decades ago when I was a high school athlete, there are still like points of different games that like I still replay in my mind. Like, gosh, I would have just done this one thing differently. Is there anything like that for you out of that game? How do you process it?
I was definitely just stoked to be able to get a hit against Alexis Jensen, and
take that, Alexis Jensen.
And I was just really proud of the way that our team battled and was able to stick with Gretna, the number 1 team in the state, for all 7 innings.
If you could have dinner with anybody alive or dead, who would it be and why?
Oh, I have no idea.
Could be a celebrity. Is there a celebrity you wouldn't mind hanging out with?
No.
Okay. All right. Well, let's just slide. Thanks for being here tonight, man. We appreciate it. Coach, we'll go over to you, kind of wrap this thing back up. I mean, we talk about being a heartbeat away from state a year ago and the success that you guys went on at the end of the season. What defines success in 2025?
Oh, I think for sure just improvement. I mean, even if it's just we're going to have possibly a younger pitcher coming in that's going to have to step up because we lost some seniors, just that she can throw strikes or put it where we want her to put it. That kind of improvement. Yes, state's the ultimate goal.
Sure.
But if you can't get there every year, so improvement is just kind of the goal.
What is the response from the Fremont community around this team? And what did turnouts look like? And is there anybody kind of behind the scenes that helps make this program go that we haven't mentioned?
Well, we use Schulke Fields and Brad Novak and the Schulke Foundation. They run that field, and that is big time. And we have a great facility. I have numerous coaches tell me, wow, you're here every day. This is awesome. So that for sure. And we have great fans. Fremont Tigers come out. I mean, if we were to make it to the state tournament, I could see people traveling.
Be a lot of black and gold. Yeah, for sure. Coach, thanks for being here. Congrats on all the success. Good luck this fall. We look forward to catching up with you down the road.
Okay, thank you.
That was the Fremont Tigers softball program and their head coach, Katie McClellan, in studio. If you missed it, check it out at soundcloud.com/afterhours1620 or wherever you get your podcast. That it was brought to you by our friends at Cunningham's Pub. You're going to want to pay attention to our social media tomorrow. You want free beer and wings? We're going to be able to hook you up with a $25 gift card to Cunningham's. All you got to do is follow us on all social media platforms. Either like or share the tweet or Facebook post with the Cunningham's logo. We're going to enter you into a drawing to win a $25 gift card to Cunningham's, one of the two great locations, whether it be the Old Mill District or Blackstone. You get you a gift card to either one of those locations. Check us out and check out Cunningham's tomorrow. We'll be right back finding out what's trending on social media. We come back on 1620 The Zone. Hey, everybody, it's Jimmy Allen here for Forsman's Finest Decks. Temperatures are still getting up into the hundreds, but before you know it, they're going to be dipping a little bit. It's going to be spooky season. If your house is the hangout spot for Halloween, but your back patio is a little bit lame, spice it up a little bit. Add a deck to your house, put a cover over the top of it, and add that something that your home has been missing with Forsman's Finest Decks. You're not going to be disappointed with your patio any longer. You can have the finer things in life. Head over to forsmansfinest.com and have your dream deck built by Travis and crew this summer. Forsman's Finest Decks, building the finest decks in Omaha. 6:51 on a Tuesday night here on 1620 Zone, brought to you by Bellevue University. If you're looking for the ideal college experience, head over to bellevue.edu, register for classes, become a Bruin tonight. Before we get to the social media soundbites, people have been concerned. People have been asking me. We have found somebody to do our lawn care. I mentioned on air last night that we were looking for lawn care.
97,000 text messages.
104. We got 104. I ended up deleting the post off of Let's Talk Papillion because I was just like, I'm not doing this anymore. So for everybody that was concerned, our lawn needs have been met. So thank you for reaching out and asking. We did land somebody. But it is that time of the night where we find out what's trending on social media per Dan Campanen, who has this lined up for us tonight.
Yeah, we're going to take a little bit of a flyer. Question for the two of you. Are you allowed to curse on the Up and Adams show?
I don't know
what's the Up and Adams show.
That's the question I had.
Well, we're taking a flyer. Do you know how a dump button works, Caleb?
Nope, we're not doing this. We're not taking that flyer. Yeah. Stacey McElligott, you're welcome.
Fine. We'll take a non-flyer then.
All right, go ahead and pause this. It's just noise.
Yeah, this is what you get.
Okay.
You don't want to get messy. You take chances and make mistakes.
Is Up and Adam a ESPN show?
It's like one of those like CBS Sports Network or like Fox shows.
I doubt they cuss on
No, yeah, they literally
it's
only
the one Shams Sharmin is always on, and he's always giving that lady the eyes.
No, I don't believe you can cuss on that. But
so let me find this guy's name real quick.
It's fine. Just tell us what happened.
Oh, so the clip that we actually did hear was Paige Beckers warming up for the season, and oh boy, is she going to be back in full force. If we're not talking number 1 draft pick in the WNBA next year, and Paige Beckers isn't associated with that pick, then I don't think that the scouting or the season has gone right whatsoever. I'm calling it right now in the middle of July 23rd to be exact, that UConn will be your women's national champion this year.
Ooh.
It's probably a crazy idea, but
you're going to get to see that team play in Omaha too.
People forget.
Believe you me, when those tickets go on sale, I will be trying to buy a ticket.
Your boy might call it on the radio. You never know.
Could be a thing.
But the real social media soundbite tonight was going to be a hilarious interview between Kay Adams and 49ers quarterback Diamador Lenore. Turns out, Jimmy, your boy's been sleeping with a broken smoke alarm for a year.
What?
It's just chirping?
During the interview, the smoke alarm goes off and chirps. And Kay Adams is like, what is going on?
Maybe it's just white noise for him.
She's like, is your smoke alarm broken? And he goes, no, it's been broken for a year.
Then yes, it's broken, by the way.
Just ignore it. I don't want to fix it because it's been kind of a good luck charm.
Well, his name rhymes with Commodore 64. Maybe he likes the beeps and bloops.
This could be a point. It's a good point.
But it was really funny. You can just see the look on her face. She's like,
I can't think of too many things that I would rather not do than go a year without changing out a smoke alarm.
Dude,
I can't take it for like more than 10 seconds.
2 beeps, and I'm like, nope. This has to be solved now.
I rage destroyed our basement one because I couldn't figure out which alarm it was, and I finally got irritated and I kind of punched it off the wall and it broke and I had to replace it. So that tells you, and this was like after 3 minutes.
Here's my smoke alarm story. We had just moved into our new house, 2020, and it has vaulted ceilings in the living room, and there's a smoke alarm up there,
all the way up there,
all the way up there.
Yep.
So it's like 2 a.m. and all the smoke alarms in the house, they're all connected. They all start doing the rotating chirp, like chirp, 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 and like just all around the house. My kid wakes up. I'm trying to get I don't know what's happening. It's a new house. I don't know how this whole system works. So here I am in my undies, standing on a 12-foot ladder, reaching up above my head to try and push the one in the vault because I've pushed all the other ones. This is the last one.
Caleb, is this what you thought we'd be talking about when we asked you to come in and intern on a sports talk radio show? Is John in his underwear?
I can't say it was the first thing that I expected.
It's a hilarious image.
It is pretty good.
But you love it now. And so I push the button and they all start screaming. Every smoke alarm in the house goes off like there's a fire. And my wife and son are like hands over the ears, pillow over the head. And I'm running around pulling the batteries out of every 2 a.m., running around my house like an idiot, pulling the battery out of every smoke alarm in the house just so everybody can go back to bed. It was among the worst nights of my life.
For any kids wondering what being a dad is like, that's it summed up in a nutshell.
That is big dad energy right there.
Hey, if you missed the social media soundbite tonight, want to just better visualize what John Schreiner looks like in his underwear, you can do it wherever you find your podcasts at. It was brought to you by our friends at Pixel Fire Marketing. Maybe you want to sit at home in your underwear, not have to worry about managing your business's social media marketing anymore. You can do that with Dan DeSive and crew. Pants are optional at Pixel Fire Marketing. They will help you build your business's social media presence. They can design a website for you, or maybe even a new logo for a brand new company. They can help you out with all that. Check out pixelfiremarketing.com for more details today. We're buying or selling on Dan's favorite wide receiver in the NFL when we come back.
It's Dad Bod season.
Hey, everybody, it's Jimmy Allen here for AX Plumbing. If you're sick of standing around in your underwear and just watching the water drip down the drain ever so slowly, and you can't figure out why your plumbing problems can't be fixed, let our friend Nick and his team at AX Plumbing come out, diagnose the problem, and fix the issue today. Head over to axpservice.com and let AX Plumbing come out and leave your home cleaner than they found it. Check out AX Plumbing at AXP Service. Book a free estimate tonight. .704 on a Tuesday night here on 1620 The Zone. This hour is brought to you by Pyramid Contractors, Omaha's #1 roofer for 13 consecutive years. That doesn't happen by accident. Head over to pyramidroof.com and book a free estimate today. It is time for Buy or Sell, where Dan Campenden has been slaving away all day to come up with these questions, and he has number one for us.
Oh, you want me to read number one?
These are your questions.
Oh, all right. I got it up on my phone.
Good.
Just like you, Caleb Polking teaching me new tricks. Well, I'm not creating a Brandon Ayuk drop because I hate him. The 49ers are stupid. And the stupidest man of the 49ers today, John Lynch, said, "We fully intend on Brandon being a Niner moving forward. Buy or sell that this changes your opinion on the former Sun Devil staying in the Bay."
It does, because it kind of seems whatever John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan wants, they get, and I think that's going to be the case here. This is exactly what Deebo Samuel did. I think Brandon Ayuk ends up getting paid and stays a 49er.
Come to Washington, Brandon. You know you want to. Get out of there. You don't need that in your life.
Hey, Nick Bosa.
Cross the coast.
You don't need to be a 49er either. Brock Purdy, there are greener pastures elsewhere. George Kittle, you should just stay there. You seem like you're happy. Deebo Samuel, literally anywhere else.
Sounds like a Super Bowl winning team to me.
Go to the Panthers. The Panthers are cool. Everyone wants to be a Panther.
Said
roar,
nobody.
Roar.
Caleb, we'll let you finish up by yourself.
Sounds good. Number 2 here. We are exactly 9 days away from the start of the NFL preseason, where the Bears will take on the Texans in the Hall of Fame game. Buy or sell, this will be a preseason worth watching.
Sell, because the preseason's never worth watching.
Hammer and hold. I love the preseason. I love the Hall of Fame game. This game is going to be a great titillating matchup for the first quarter and a half. Let me see Caleb Williams. I want to see C.J. Stroud. Will Tank Dell be out there? Will he be healthy enough to play in this game? What does he look like post the injury and the gunshot? Two separate incidences. I listen. Houston's probably the most intriguing team in the NFL this season. You're not going to be able to give me enough of them. I'm here for it.
I will the first preseason games, pointless. The third preseason games, pointless. If Washington's second preseason game is available to watch without buying some stupid package, I will watch that preseason game, and that's it.
Why do you hate fun?
I don't hate fun. These are pointless games that mean nothing.
If it doesn't involve you in your underwear, you don't want to do it.
It's true.
Specifically for the Hall of Fame game, I will cover up the half of the TV that the Bears are playing on while they are playing, so I can only watch the Texans play. But I buy. I love preseason football. I love football. Football is love. Football is life. And anytime that it gets to come back into my life, I welcome it gladly. And also, I will definitely be watching at least part of the Hall of Fame game because I'm addicted to Hard Knocks, and the Bears, unfortunately, are the Hard Knocks team.
Does it blow anybody else's mind nobody's climbed on top of this duck in Indianapolis yet?
Nah.
Kind of surprised. Caleb, thoughts?
Someone should write it.
Caleb, thoughts? Preseason football?
I will say, going back to will, won't, should a couple weeks back, I'm with you, John. I think I had the NFL preseason as my won't.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
you're both entitled to be wrong, but that's fine.
We'll
Go ahead, number 3.
Here. Shifting to basketball, Team USA almost lost to South Sudan, which, might I add here, led by former Iowa State Cyclone Mari Al-Shayok.
People forget.
2019 prodigy in the Big 12 tournament. Almost lost to South Sudan in men's basketball. They needed a last-second bucket from King James to secure the win. Buy or sell, we should be pressing the panic button on Team USA.
So here's I think where most of this concern comes from. South Sudan is a very new and recently formed country. What people don't understand or missed in all of this is they've had an insurgence of a lot of money from guys like Luol Deng and former NBA players that have built facilities over there to train players in the country. 9 of these guys are either G League, NBA, or current college basketball players. This is a good team, and we're just guys that came off the street and picked up a basketball and decided to start playing the day before. And these are well-trained, heavily trained athletes that have had a ton of basketball experience. And by the way, on average, are younger than the United States by 6 years across the board. With that being said, if we're relying on 40-year-old LeBron James and last-minute buckets to win gold medals, yeah, I think it's time to start hitting the panic button. And I don't care who it's against.
Absolutely. This is not a good look. It should not inspire any sort of confidence. I mean, as you just laid out, that's a young team.
Mhm.
They're made up of G League and college players, and they almost beat our dream team. Are you kidding me?
The G League MVP too, by the way.
All right. Hold on. Because I want to just, you guys are all probably still, 1992, Michael Jordan, Irvin Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, all together. Oh, my khakis. They had to play against 9 NBA players in the Olympics. 9.
Yeah.
Now, this year's iteration of Team USA will have to play against 61.
64.
61.
The 61 current players. There will be 3 that have either entered the draft or will be in the G League. But yes. So, yeah.
Fair
okay.
enough.
Yeah.
64 NBA players.
Right.
That is just proof to what John has been saying this whole time. Basketball has gone global, baby.
Can you go let the Fremont Tigers in? Thank you very much, Dan. Caleb, question number 4.
Crazy things going on in Cincinnati right now. Joe Burrow now has hair like Eminem did in his real Slim Shady days. Jamar Chase has buzzed his hair. Buy or sell the new look for the Cincinnati Bengals?
Sell.
See, I thought this looked more like Cody Rhodes finishing his story than it did Mr. Marshall Mathers. It'll be interesting to hear when Joe Burrow decides to give his thoughts on this. Either way, it's a bad look. He should not be a blonde.
No. It's
Jamar
it's
go with the buzz is an interesting look though. I kind of like it on him. It's growing up a little bit.
Hey, you know what though? Bye. Do whatever you want.
Yeah, I'm with it.
Look however you want to look. I don't care.
Caleb, this is the part of the show where Dan usually asks us a question on his mind, but obviously he slacks.
Yeah, am I gonna have to improv here?
Yeah, do you have a sports question or a topic you want to discuss? It is Big 10/ACC Media Days.
Caleb's a Big 12 guy.
Well,
though.
Dan did just walk right back in the room.
But you got the mic.
He knew I was
You got
ready.
the mic and the board. You can turn off his mic.
Do you have a random Dan question for us?
Nope, Caleb. It's your time to shine. What do you
Go
got?
ahead, Caleb.
I will give it right on over to Dan here. I got nothing. Go ahead, Dan.
I thought you said this kid was prepared.
I said
you
nothing
seen
of the
this?
sort.
Have you heard about this? Former Middle Tennessee State University. Yes. The big mouthful of a university. Their former punter, Kyle Ulbrich, was outside of the Dolphins facility asking for a job today with a bunch of signs that have links to his highlight tape and that also have all of his statistics on them. Buy or sell. Is this the right way to try to become an NFL punter?
The fact that you didn't work Blue Raiders into that question kind of disappoints me. But yeah, I mean, why not? You know how you're definitely not going to get a job not trying. Why not? What's the worst thing they're going to do is tell you no?
He should have had footballs and kicked them like from outside into Hard Rock Stadium. That would have been impressive.
That would have been great. Yeah, probably would have got himself the job too. I'm here for it.
To be fair, it seems like the way that Mike McDaniel would want to recruit someone.
Did you hear him at the podium talking about Tyreek Hill's personal issues? Yeah, this is definitely the guy you want to entertain.
That guy kicked a football into the stadium from the parking lot.
Get him
$1
million.
Have him on the roster.
Get him $1 million.
Get him
All right,
a contract.
You know what? There is a random Caleb question.
All right.
Yes.
Give it to us.
I don't know if you guys addressed this. I don't know if you guys
never.
addressed this last night at all.
Sure.
You might have, and I might have missed it. Nick Castellanos.
We haven't, and I can't believe we didn't do this. The beacon of death, as most
it
people
has
are
to be
calling him.
addressed.
He's going to hit a home run tonight because that geyser went off at Yellowstone.
Oh boy.
What's the FanDuel odds for him to hit a home run right now?
Yeah,
I saw they limited it on Sunday.
Yeah, probably plus 18,000 at this
A geyser went off. A whale flipped a boat.
Nick Castellanos hit a home run. Yeah, book it. It's going to happen. Hey, if you missed Buy or Sell tonight, check it out. Wherever you get your podcast at, we'll be right back telling you who will, won't, and should be an NFL first teamer this fall here on 1620 Zone. We come back.
Hey, everybody, it's John Schreiner here for Williams Law. You need to let Bob Williams defend you or your loved ones, especially if you know somebody or you yourself have been wrongfully accused. That is a terrible situation to be in, to know that you are in the right and you've been accused of something you didn't do. You need Bob in your corner. Even if you're facing a DUI charge, or maybe you know somebody who's gotten themselves into a little bit of trouble, or they're trying to sort out somebody else's mess, doesn't matter. Bob can do it all. You need to give him a call at 402-522-6317. Smart dude, knows all the answers. He's going to walk you through the process, tell you how the legal system works and what your rights are and everything to expect as you go through it. Check out WilliamsLawLLC.com or call him at 402-522-6317 and get your answers tonight.
$7.18 on a Tuesday night here on 1620 The Zone, brought to you by our friends at Pyramid Contractors. If you have been affected by the summer or spring storms and your roof or gutter siding windows have been affected by the hail damage, they can help you at Pyramid Contractors. Head over to pyramidroof.com tonight and book a free estimate with Kyle and the crew. Back to our discussion about Joe Burrow's hairstyle. Our friend Jeff weighs in and says, anyone think Burrow looked at Mahomes and thought, I need a hairstyle? That could be a thing. It could be. Yeah. Listen, certain guys are getting some attention because Head and Shoulders commercials because of the way they look. Or this could be his best Jimmy Butler impersonation. People forget that Jimmy Butler shows up to picture day oddly dressed or has an emo style haircut. Things like that could be Joe Burrow channeling his inner Jimmy Butler.
Maybe he's got a Sport Clips commercial coming out.
Could be. It could be. What it could be is Will Won't Should time, which it is right now. Our friends at SI put out a list of guys that will be on the NFL's first or second team this season. John, Dan, Caleb, and I are going to tell you which guys will, won't, and should be on the first team NFL list this season. I'm going to start us off because I think the will is the easiest answer there possibly is. It's Justin Tucker, the kicker for the Ravens. He's probably the best to ever do it, in my opinion. He's definitely the best at his craft right now. If he is healthy all season, without a doubt, he will be an NFL first-team guy.
I didn't take the low-hanging fruit on this one. My will is Aiden Hutchinson. That dude made me a believer last year. I was not sold on him coming out of Michigan. I thought he was going to be a good player. I didn't realize
I had my questions.
He was going
really
to be
good.
as good as he has been. I think this dude is the future of pass rushers in the NFL. Aiden Hutchinson will be an all-pro.
Dan Camden?
My will is the man who is single-handedly carrying a position group on his back right now, and that is Kyle Juszczyk, the fullback out of San Francisco.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think no one does it better, and no one, to me, gives a reason if you're an NFL head coach to say, you know what? I think we do actually need to have a fullback on the roster. He's the one guy right now I think that is one of one, especially in his specific position that he plays. And for as much crap as I literally just talked 15 minutes ago about how
you left him off your list.
I don't like Kyle Shanahan, I don't like John Lynch, and I don't like the San Francisco 49ers.
Brenda,
I
you
like
sucks.
the way that they use Kyle Juszczyk. They use the use.
Caleb, who will be an NFL first-teamer?
I'm just going to go with another 49er here. Play it safe.
Good call.
Christian McCaffrey. Also, another guy that
He's
you could
all right.
argue not necessarily carrying a position group, but he has
He's the flag
separated
bearer
himself
for sure.
from the pack.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely a flag bearer. I don't really think there's anyone that's close to him going into the 2024 season.
Thank you to the Carolina
Death,
Panthers.
taxes, and Christian McCaffrey, anytime touchdown.
Thank you, Carolina, for all you do in the NFL. We'll go to won't. And mine I think will probably be not on your guys' list. I have Chris Jones, the Kansas City defensive tackle.
Interesting take.
He just got that massive $158.7 million deal with $101 million guaranteed. He's already talking to Yahoo Sports about needing more days off. He's going to be 30 at the start of the season. And it just kind of feels like Kansas City's due for a season to be complacent, right? Like we've seen this with dynasties where it's like, we've won a couple in a row. It's time for a little bit of a dip here. And when you get paid, it's not a whole lot of incentive to keep working hard. And Chris Jones, again, a 30-year-old defensive tackle, not necessarily the most consistent work ethic guys, especially after they're getting paid the most money their position has ever been paid.
So mine sort of piggybacks off of Caleb's for my won't, because this SI list has James Cook as the first-team All-Pro running back. James Cook will not be a first-team All-Pro running back because Christian McCaffrey will be the first-team All-Pro running back. Hello?
I think we're reaching, with CMC, though, I think we're reaching that Trevor Lawrence at Clemson for the Heisman-esque. It's too big to happen. It's too obvious of a choice.
But James Cook?
Yeah, it's not James.
So, James, this is the question. Who won't be a first-teamer from this list? James Cook.
Yeah, I can't believe
there are too many other running backs that are going to have way better seasons than him. Like, the Bills don't run the football enough for him to
not
be
with
a
not with a running
first-teamer.
back anyway.
So, like, I don't understand the logic that they're using here. James Cook will not be a first-team All-Pro.
Well, in their first and second team, they had James Cook, and then they had second team
Derrick Henry.
It was like,
famously, neither one of those guys are Christian McCaffrey.
Like, I'll take Bijan Robinson over either of those guys.
Agreed.
Is this the one category where you closed your eyes and you said, you know what? Let's just line up all 32 starters and just throw a dart.
I do think they made a concentrated effort in some of these categories to go off outside of the box, go off kilter a little bit. I do from this list because this isn't the only one. But Dan, who won't be an NFL first teamer this year?
Well, Jimmy, I'm about to prove you wrong because Chris Jones was my won't as well.
Oh, okay.
I thought he gets paid too much money. He's getting a little bit older. And honestly, my real argument with it was the splitting hairs portion of it, where I don't think he's a first team guy. I think he's a second team guy.
Yeah.
And that's just kind of where it sat for me. I was like, he's good.
I think
he's not going to be bad.
I think Chris Jones is still going to be really good this year. I just don't think he's going to be NFL first team good. Caleb, who won't be an NFL first teamer?
I'm out on Cooper Kupp at this point. I think age has gotten to him. I think he is
Puka Nacua is going to be pulling some of those catches away from him.
Exactly.
Matthew Stafford's 947 years old.
Puka Nacua is going to be a beast again this year. I'm out on Cooper Kupp. I love Cooper Kupp. He's one of my favorite receivers in the last 10 years or so. He's got my hair too. He copied my haircut. So big fan of the guy, but I'm out on him. I think age is starting to get to him this season.
I've been trying to figure out who he reminds me of for 2 months.
It's Cooper Kupp.
Cooper Kupp.
Yeah.
Who should be an NFL first teamer? And Dan, I kind of stole your will. It's Kyle Juszczyk. I mean, there's only like 4.863 fullbacks in the whole NFL to begin with. He's by far the best. He gets used the most unique ways. Even though he's like 947 years old in NFL years, he's going to be 34 this season, 10 consecutive seasons with 100 yards receiving as an H-back / fullback. He's a dude. I mean, there's no question he should be an NFL first teamer.
Who should be an NFL first teamer? I took the take that I'm going to pick someone who's not on the list that I think should be on the list. And I think it's Josh Allen. Because I think the Bills are still going to be really good.
Even without Stephon Diggs.
I think he's still going to put up big numbers. With fewer weapons, he's still going to carry that team to a deep playoff run. And it's going to be because of him. It's going to be because of his play and the way he plays the game, the ability to run the ball, scramble out of bad situations. He's going to make Keon Coleman the best rookie receiver in the league. It's going to be.
I think that's going to be Xavier Worthy, but that's here for debate.
It should be Josh Allen.
You remember when he threw that interception to Nate Gary? LOL. Dan Campanen, who should be an NFL first teamer?
Well, this is the one category where I decided, you know what? I am going to do my duty.
Here it is.
To the city of Green Bay.
Can't believe we've made it this far.
The state of Wisconsin. I could have went Green Bay for all three of them. But
I'm a little disappointed
because I have
you
respect for the game. And also I can't lie to myself. But my should is Keyshawn Nixon at kick return.
Honestly, I was debating having him as my should too.
He's become such an integral part of
He's
Green
must-watch
Bay
football.
With literally only touching the football like 6 or 7 times, maybe a game, depending upon how often they get scored on.
Yeah.
And I mean, he's just a dude.
He's electric,
no matter,
man.
Anytime he touches the ball, he's at least going for 20 yards on every single kick return. And he is shifty. He is beautiful. And they have found a way to give this man a legitimate NFL career.
Caleb, who should be?
For clarification, there's 2 running backs on the first team, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
No, they only list one in the SI article. They have a first teamer and a second teamer.
Well, and sometimes it takes the place of a fullback if Kyle Juszczyk is having it down here.
For the sake of the exercise, I'll go back to running backs here.
Okay.
Give me Breece Hall. I don't think people talk enough about how he was 95% of the Jets offense last year.
Good.
Who knows? I mean, I don't know how much better that team's going to be this year if Aaron Rodgers can play longer than 3 snaps.
2 Achilles, that'd be great.
Yeah. if you incorporate an actual passing game that functions, teams aren't going to sell out on him, load the box. He can run for more than 5 yards. And man, I mean, last year it was Zach Wilson, Mike White throwing it to him 5 yards beyond the line of scrimmage.
You guys remember Mike White?
Mike White.
But yeah, Breece Hall, super high on him. Former Cyclone as well.
Total homer pick by you, Caleb.
Yeah, back to back. The producers
He'll
are
be on every one of my fantasy teams.
The producers are on one tonight. We're on one as well, and you can get with us next as we talk to our good friend Lee Jennings from Fremont High School and his football team in studio. We come back. If you missed Will Won't Should, it was brought to you by our friends at Jerry Ryan tonight. Jerry Ryan is the best, the premier, the excellent suit buying experience in the entire Midwest. They have all the options you need, from sports coats to slacks, ties, golf polos, you name it. Jerry Ryan has it. Stop by 78th and Dodge. Be the best dressed guy at your event that you're attending this summer. Let John, Dan, and the crew get you dressed, get your suit game right, get your closet right, get you hooked up with red, white, and black polos. If you're, heading down to Lincoln here in the next couple of months for some reason, they can help you out for game day as well. Head over to Jerry Ryan. They've been dressing Omaha for over 50 years. We're going to talk Fremont Tiger football. We come back 16:20 zone.
Ladies and germs, it is that time of the night again. My mind is beginning to wander, and it's beginning to wonder, what am I going to have for dinner? Luckily, from my location at 50th and Capitol, I know that I am extremely close to one of Pepper Jack's 10 great local locations where I can get exactly what I want. And for me, it's a steak gunner Philly with all the vegetables on it, a little bit of that jalapeno juice, extra cheese, and, of course, those fries with that ranch. But If you got to keep it healthy, if you want to keep it healthy, keep those macros in the way that you want them to be in. You can always get a salad. You can always get a rice bowl. You can get it any way you want tonight at any one of Pepper Jack's 10 great locations. Go and get your snacks.
.32 on a Tuesday night on 1620 The Zone, brought to you by Pyramid Contractors. If you've been affected by the seasonal storms, you can get a free estimate at pyramidroof.com. They've been the #1 roofer in Omaha 13 consecutive years for a reason. Head over to pyramidroof.com and never settle for less. Lee Jennings, the head coach of the Fremont Tigers, joins us in studios with his players, Jackson Jones, Ethan Peterson, and Devarius Bell. Guys, thank you very much for being here tonight. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having us. Appreciate it.
Coach, let's start off with you. Obviously, not the results you guys wanted from a win-loss standpoint a year ago, but close out with a win against Omaha Northwest. What did that win do for this program and this coaching staff a year ago?
Yeah, it was a great win on the road at the end of the year there. Always a good way, when you look at a season, the first one's important, the last one's important. And to get a win at the end of the year, to vault these guys, and to having some experience and having that win and getting that taste, and then also sending your seniors out the right way too.
Sure.
So that one was important.
One of the things we talk about when we have athletes in here is like, what are they doing in the offseason to improve? How do they want to get better? It's the same question for you. Like in the offseason as a coach, what are you doing to try and improve your processes and train yourself better as a coach?
Yeah, and I think that's important, not just for myself, but our entire staff. And my staff does a great job. Immediately after the season, we do a little self-reflection, have a meeting, talk about the immediate season that just happened.
Sure.
Evaluate the things that went well, that didn't go well, and some things that we think we can fix right away on our own.
Once you get kind of past that through the holidays, Thanksgiving, Christmas time, then it picks up to clinic season more or less. And so you go to clinics. We go to the Kansas City Glacier Clinic every year. There's a lot of good ones that are around here now.
Yeah.
Nebraska puts on stuff.
Did you get a chance to go the high school camp that Matt Rule and the staff put on?
We did not go to that one
okay.
This year, but we have sent individual coaches that went this year also. And I think that's in the spring, and most of our football coaches are also track coaches.
Yeah.
So we did send a couple individual coaches, but not as a staff.
There was around 9 million people there.
Yeah, that's what I heard. But I heard it was really good.
Yeah, it was great.
So, but yeah, and then as you climb into your spring, you start to kind of get yourself ready for what we call summer season. And that's our 7-on-7s, our camps that we're going to host and getting things ready, looking at our personnel and our schemes and how we're going to take what we learned over, the course of the last 7-8 months and put it into play.
I want to talk about what you just brought up a minute ago and the self-reflection and changing things. What did you see from this team a year ago offensively that was good that you think you guys can make portable to this season and work and build off of?
We had flashes of things all year. Obviously, when you're 2-7, we're not dumb. We know we have a lot to work on.
Sure.
And so we saw a lot of flashes of things up front, especially we're young, a little bit inexperienced. We want to become better there, more aggressive, and get our run game going right away. As you get your run game going and moving, we have 2 really good running backs back this year, both juniors. We have 4 out of our 5 offensive linemen that are back this year. So we're excited about up front. We're going to be a little bit young in our receiving core, but we have some guys that are ready to step up and make the move.
Talk to me about scheme. What do you guys like to run? How do you like to play the game?
Offensively, we're a spread team.
Yeah.
We don't have, one thing. We've put in probably 4 or 5 schemes already this summer. And those are kind of our base things. And our offensive coordinator, Coach Wynot, and his staff do a great job of making sure that we keep people, on their toes and not knowing what's coming next.
Coach, we'll talk to a couple of your players now. Jackson Jones joins us in studio. Jackson, what color is Santa Claus's suit?
Red.
Okay. You spent a lot of time camping this summer and traveling and working on honing your craft. Why was it a big deal for you to kind of get out of Fremont and get around the country and do as much as you did this summer?
It was really just to show the colleges that have been showing me interest, how much growth and progression I've made, not only on my technique, but my aggression on the field. It's really just compared to my last game from right now, I feel like I've been a completely different player, and I felt like all of my camps really showed that.
You went to that Lindenwood mega camp, and I've heard that thing's pretty nuts with all the players that show up down there. What was your experience like, and how do you stand out in an environment where there's so many campers?
Before you answer that, can you pull the microphone up just a little bit? Yep, there you go. Perfect, right there. You're good. Yep, perfect.
There was a ton of players. I was training the whole off season and stuff. I felt like I was physically ready for it, but mentally, you have to be way different than you feel like you are. Since there is so many kids, you have to play every single rep, every single drill at 110%. You have to know physically and mentally that you are better than the person in front of you. And the coaches really look for that in almost everything out there.
With that being said, what do you want the reputation of Fremont football to be when a team walks off the field after playing the Fremont Tigers? What do you want them to say about you guys? What do you want the identity of this team to be?
I want them to be like, wow. I know that as an entire team, we're going to be physically dominant and dominantly opposing to other people, especially the line. I know we have a bunch of returners this year. We've been playing with each other forever now, and really put some trust in everybody just as a team and move the ball as a team and get good stops on defense.
You mentioned some of this a little earlier, but playing O-line is obviously about technique and footwork and getting your hands in the right spot and all that stuff. But there's also an attitude involved there too. Do you think that's something that you can develop, or maybe is that just something innate? How do you go about getting that nasty streak that coaches like to see in an O-lineman?
Yeah, absolutely. I've not always had like a just really aggressive side of me, especially on the football field. But it's really just comes with playing and drilling every single day, like you're in a game scenario. And I really believe if you really doubt yourself and you don't know, like you second guess yourself whenever you're in right before a play, you've already lost. You got to come out there with confidence. You got to go out there and just really think and know that you're better than that person in front of you, like your entire competition. So yeah, that's really the way I go about it.
Who's the greatest offensive lineman of all time?
I would have to say Joe Thomas.
Okay, we'll accept that answer. Great
Very
answer.
good answer.
Jackson, thanks for being here, man. We greatly appreciate it. We'll go over to Ethan Peterson, who joins us in studio as well. Ethan, you guys have been hitting the strength and conditioning pretty hard. DeVaris grabbed the top overall spot as far as miles per hour on the clock time, and after almost one notch off his 20.45 out of top out speed. Easy for me to say. Any extra incentive to maybe catch him and work on the athleticism and the speed and get up that 20.45?
For sure. It's something I'm used to. I've been going to school with DeVaris now since the beginning of middle school, and he's always been
just chasing him ever since then.
He's always been the fast guy. I'd like to think that I'm pretty fast, but he's always just kind of been a little bit faster. So I'm gonna keep working to improve my speed, and we'll see if
we'll set up a 40 out in the parking lot when you guys leave here.
42 solo tackles last year, led the team. What do you think the key is to being a ball hawk? We hear about guys that he just finds the ball. What's the key to being that player?
Yeah, I would say just having that mentality where you're just ready to hit somebody at all times, always being ready on your toes to make a play at any moment. And I would say trusting the process. My coaches know what they're doing. They're doing their best to make sure I'm in a position to make a play every down.
Obviously 42 solo tackles is a great accomplishment. Have you set any individual goals for yourself this season?
Yeah, I want to make sure that I'm a huge leader. That's my main goal this year, is to lead the team on and off the field. And I also hope to get more than 42 solo tackles this next year. So.
Right on.
Go ahead, sir.
One outlet listed you as one of the 3 most overlooked players in the state. Why do you think that's true, and how do you get more folks to take notice?
Yeah, I'm always working as hard as I can, and I'm glad that someone's kind of realizing that that's kind of who I am. But just making sure that I'm working as hard as I can, and getting noticed will come easy if I'm just playing the game how I know how to play.
If you're making a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, what kind of jelly are you using and why?
Definitely strawberry.
Yeah.
Big strawberry guy.
Yeah, I liked you up until this point.
No, that's a correct answer. You're fine.
Ethan, thanks for being here tonight, man. Good luck this fall. We appreciate it. DeVaris, go ahead and grab the mic here for us. DeVaris Bell joins us in studio as well. I mentioned it, man. 20.45 miles per hour at a top out speed. Can you beat that number?
Absolutely. Just hard work every day, putting in 110%, trusting my coaches, trusting the process. I mean, you come in some weeks and you don't run a PR, maybe you're 0.7 seconds slower, but you come back the next week and you just PR, you feel good.
I think I can run 2.45 miles per hour. What do you think your best attributes as a running back are, and what were the things you maybe wanted to improve on this year?
My speed and power, I like to focus on a lot. I think I like physicality, so I just like to go and take a hit. Definitely my footwork gotten a little lighter this season, so I definitely think I can work on just being able to move, transition my speed to get around places way faster.
Coach kind of talked about it a little bit. He said, we got 2 really good running backs. We got some guys that can carry the ball. What do you think this offense can do this season to be more formidable than a year ago?
Pick up with the little things. I mean, a lot last year, picking up penalties, missing a block, missing a cut, missing a catch, just a lot of those little things that if we just put the pieces together, we'll be in the end zone every game.
Track, football, or both? What are you trying to do at the next level?
My dream is to play ball in college. I am better at track right now. I know that. And the opportunity comes to me, I would want to be a walk-on for whichever one I get a scholarship for.
District champ in the 200. That's pretty good as a sophomore.
What's the dream school?
I do not have a dream school yet.
Okay. If you had to sing a song in front of 100 people, what would the song be?
Eye of the Tiger.
Oh, yes.
Great
right
answer.
on.
Coach, we'll go back to you. DeVaris, thanks for being here, man. We'll wrap it up with Coach Lee Jennings of the Fremont football team. They're in studio with us tonight. Do you have a go-to karaoke song?
No.
Absolutely not. Hey, what defines success for this program this year?
Well, the definition of success is for us, and it's different for every team, but for us is in the character of our team. The guys that just spoke is a small cross
patch of our entire team.
Sure.
The way they spoke, the way.
Sorry to have to limit it to 3 guys.
No,
Yeah.
no, it's a part of the deal. But
as you can see, we don't have a lot of room.
Yeah, absolutely. They represent what we're about. You know, they talk about trusting the process, coming in every day, giving 110%. You know, a lot of people would stand up here and say it's defined in wins and losses, but that's
that's never the case.
Not
whether you're undefeated or winless.
Yeah, and so we as a program want to produce young men that are going to be in society, you know, dads, uncles, brothers,
sure,
those types of things, and are going to contribute in the right way. And they're going to learn a lot through our program and in that process. And so as we look back and these guys come back in 4 years and still call me coach, we won.
Who are some people behind the scenes that kind of help make Fremont football go that we haven't given any attention to tonight?
You know, all the way up to our upper administration, our superintendent, Mr. Shepard, our administration of the high school with our athletic director, Scott Anderson, does a ton. Assistant AD, Mike Schleicher, down to our staff. Our football staff doesn't get paid for any summer work. They're there every day, working the kids out on the open field days, doing the things, camp season, you know, down to our parents, right?
Sure.
I mean, our parents are giving rides at 6 in the morning or 6:30 in the morning to weight sessions and those types of things. So it's hard to name one or two individuals because it's a whole community, and
sure,
we're proud to represent that Fremont community.
We had Papio South in last night, and we were kind of talking to them. And their coach was just referencing, hey, listen, we're all the way out on 370. We're kind of away from everything. You guys have that kind of same system and I guess hurdle to some degree to get over as well. Do you look at it that way? Is it a hurdle to be all the way out in Fremont and compete with the Class A schools, or is it kind of, hey, we got to be out on our own and kind of do things our own way?
Well, first of all, Papio South's head coach, I got a little beef with him. He's my college roommate, Coach Clement.
Okay, yeah.
So
Tim, hope you're listening.
Yeah, whatever he said, he's wrong. But, you know, I can see where he's coming from with that statement. We actually,
man, he said so many nice things. No, I'm just kidding.
He's a great guy.
Yeah.
We talked about this out in the lobby a little bit, and there's a lot that goes into high school football right now, and the landscape, just like college football, is changing every single day, and it's tough. It's you know, it's something that we 20 years ago probably never thought we would see, but we like it where we're at. We love it. I mean, our community, we get a fan base and alumni that come back and support us, and it's just us. We get, our kids are who we get. We play with our feeder program as our middle school, our junior Tigers program, our Fremont kids. We build from the ground up, and that's who we are, and we like, you know, sometimes it's a little bit of us against the world mentality.
That is the head football coach out at Fremont, Lee Jennings. He brought Jackson Jones, Ethan Peterson, and Devarius Bell in studio with them tonight. Guys, thanks for being here tonight. Good luck this fall. We'd love to catch up with you down the road.
Hey, we appreciate you guys having us. Thank you.
Yeah, if you guys missed the Tiger segment, check it out at soundcloud.com/afterhours1620 or wherever you catch your podcast at. It was brought to you by AX Plumbing, home or residential. They can do it all. Check out axpservice.com for your plumbing, water heater, gas piping, and backflow prevention issues. AX Plumbing is locally owned and operated and will leave your home or business cleaner than they found it. Check out axpservice.com to get a free estimate tonight. It's last call. We come back on 1620 The Zone.
Hey, everybody. John here again for Cunningham's Pub and Grill. Tomorrow, Wing Wednesday. Yep, we're going to get those delicious smoked wings from Cunningham's in studio. I can taste them already. The blueberry sriracha, maybe something you've never thought about ordering in your life. I can promise you, you will not regret it. They are delicious. The classic buffalo, the Jamaican jerk, like whatever you get, the wings are spectacular. And get your clicker fingers ready for tomorrow. Get that thing stretched out. Get ready, because we're going to be tweeting out a picture or a gift tomorrow. You follow the show on social media. You follow Cunningham's. You retweet that picture. You're going to be entered into a drawing to win a $25 gift card. You can go and get yourself some free wings. And what's better than free wings? Absolutely nothing. What's better than Cunningham's? Also nothing. Check them out. Old Mill or Blackstone, one of the two great locations. Head out there, get some wings, get some drinks tonight.
Wrapping it up. 7:52 Standard Central Time. Pay attention. This is Mountain Time. We're not Deion Sanders. Brought to you by Pyramid Contractors. Over a decade of being the number one roofer in Omaha doesn't happen by accident. Head over to pyramidroof.com. Book a free estimate today. If you've been dinged up by the hail and have been waiting till the insurance comes through, don't do that. Get a free estimate. Let Pyramid Contractors walk you through the process and work with a local contractor today. A last call here. We give our hottest takes of the night to wrap up the show. And we will start off with Dan Campen, who raises his hand to go first, who does not have his microphone turned on, but now he does.
Yes. 538,967 plus one. That is how many people right now, Brian Gutenkoost, are relying on you to do the right thing and to back up the Brinks truck, beep, 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 to Jordan Love's front door. Because you know what? We need a lockup, an amazing quarterback, a great arm talent, and plus, just like me, Jordan Love now has a wedding to pay for. And those are going to be expensive. And his is an NFL wedding. So we know it's going to be
you can't go
more
chinky on that.
expensive than usual.
You gotta
And
book.
you're the captain. You have to invite the linemen.
Yeah.
You got to invite the defense.
You can't get chintzy at all. You gotta pony up.
And his wife famously plays for the Professional Volleyball Federation. So you gotta
That's
invite
right.
her
I
whole
forgot
team
about
too.
I forgot about that. That's true.
Ronica, it's the problem with both of you being athletes. Your guest list is large. It's a whole 53 men.
John
plus a
Schreiner.
coaching staff.
It's a sad day. It's a sad day for fans of former Huskers. It's a sad day for fans of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It's a sad day for people who like rebound stories because Randy Gregory failed to report to training camp for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He missed all 3 days of the team's mandatory minicamp last month and has now not shown up to the start of regular training camp. He has been confirmed to have received $101,000 plus in fines for not showing up to those mandatory dates after signing a one-year deal worth up to $5 million with the Bucs. Listen, I loved Randy Gregory when he was at Nebraska. He was one of my favorite players of that era. He was so explosive and so fun to watch play the game. And I had seriously high hopes for him when he made it to the NFL. But the litany of problems, the inability to stay off the suspended list, and now this latest thing of failing to show up for training camp when he was supposed to, it's just a sad, sad story of what might have been if he had been able to just keep himself off of that list of players who were inactive for disciplinary reasons.
Hot take. He's going to be fine. Guys miss time all the time. He'll be all right. He got the one-year deal. He's an elite pass rusher. And what we've seen, if guys are elite at what they do, they can just take time off and show up.
Listen, I just hope that there's not something else going on.
A more underlining problem. I agree with that. But my hot take is he's going to be perfectly fine. My hot take, and this is going to offend some people. So if you're easily offended, maybe you should turn your microphones off. Something a little personal to me that I think more people should care about. We should let mascots talk at media days. I think I think we'd be better off if the duck was represented at the podium instead of in the water, or if Herbie Husker, even in Muppet form, was allowed to get up and be represented at media days. Mascots matter, folks, and they are a big part of the pageantry of college athletics, and I think they deserve a spot at the podium in their time in front of the camera as well.
Perfectly fine with that. Let a Badger and a Wolverine fight in a closed pen.
We don't need a closed pen. There's a giant indoor dome. Just let them have at it. This is what we need. We need Bucky Badger
on the concourse
fighting Purdue Pete and slamming into him into a popcorn machine. It'd be great for TV.
Poking out those creepy eyes.
Yeah, it's.
I was going to say it'd be great for Purdue Pete too. Maybe it would make him a little more human.
Nothing could make him more human, but you can be human with us every single night from 6 to 8 p.m. here on 1620 The Zone. If you missed any of the show, check it out on our radio replay page on 1620thezone.com. zonetv.com. You can always catch us at zonetv.live as well. If you missed our last call, it was brought to you by Amber Best with Berkshire Hathaway. You don't have to let your house sit on the market. You can move it and do it in a unique way with our friend Amber Best with Berkshire Hathaway. Head over to Amber Best. That's BESS.com tonight. She can help you walk through the process of getting your house off the market, listing it across multiple places. It can even be listed on this show on a nightly basis as well. Head over to Amber Best, BESS.com, and work with the best today. For Caleb Polking, Dan Campen, and John Schreiner, I've been Jimmy Allen. Happy Vanilla Ice Cream Day, everybody.
Put chocolate sauce on it.